semi-finals of the Women's Euros. Really, really hoping to see Wembley sell out for the final. We can absolutely beat France if France get there. I assume they will. So yeah, happy days. Today we're going to be talking about Nottingham Forest in this summer 2022 transfer series, and you know they've had a pretty good go of it, Forest, haven't they? They've really gone for it. Total spend. Oh, that's annoying. I think because because I'm in Belgium, it's giving me it in euros rather than pounds. But you know, never mind. So they've, in terms of player sales, 27 million euros, which is about what 20 million pounds. And in terms of actual spent, 81 million euros. So that'll be about 72-ish million pounds. So they have spent a fair whack, Forest. They really have gone for it. And you know, I like a lot of this business that they've done. So fair play to them. Let's go through it then. So you can tell it's bedtime. I'm yawning. Steve Cooper, he likes to play an aggressive, possession-based 3-4-1-2 system. Goalkeeper, obviously Samba, one of the top performing keepers in the Championship last year. Heroic in the shootout against Sheffield United in the playoff semis. He's gone back to France with Lens. Ethan Horvath, he's gone on loan to Luton. So, you know, because of that, Forest have now had to bring in 2 keepers this summer, and they've brought in Dean Henderson on loan, which is a fantastic deal for them. And Dean Henderson is a better keeper than Samba, so fair play, brilliant upgrade, love it. And they've also brought in the experience of Wayne Hennessy as their number 2 on a free, which again I think is a fantastic bit of business, that Wayne Hennessy is number 2 on a free. Happy days. Really great summer in the goalkeeper department for them. Good start. Right wing back. So obviously Jed Spence had a very successful loan spell last year from Borough. He's now gone to Spurs. They've brought in Nico Williams for 18 million, which is a significant outlay. In my opinion, he's a better player than Jed Spence. I really believe that. I think he's a better player than Jed Spence. And I think this could be a deal that Liverpool end up regretting. But it's fantastic business once again by Forest. They've also got Richie Laria, but they've brought in Julian Bianconi for 9 mil in the same position, which you'd assume therefore he's going to be number 2. So Laria now you'd assume would be surplus to requirements. Carl Jenkinson's gone on loan to Melbourne. So yeah, Bianconi probably the backup, and Nico Williams is the starting player. And he's fantastic signing. Centre backs, so Forest have got 6 centre backs, that's right because they play with a back 3 in Musa Niakate, who they've brought in from, who they bring him in from? Oh, Mainz, yeah, brought him in from Mainz for 10 million euros, so 9 million pounds. They've got Joe Worrell as well. They've got Scott McKenna. They've got Steve Cook, and they've got Loic Mbesso. So yeah, is that 6? Have they got 6 then? Have they got 6? Because I'm sure I've just counted 5 there. Who is it? Who's their 6? Let me just find the details. I think I must have missed someone off here. No, they have just got 5. But again, it's the Premier League. They've not got European football. They're only playing 3. I think 5 in rotation is fine for where they're at. No problem. So yeah, Musa Niakate, Joe Worrell, Scott McKenna, Steve Cook, and Loic Mbesso. So going through these guys then, and Jonathan Panto, he's left for Coventry on loan. Tobias Figueiredo, we'll have to see whether he actually improves the team, to be honest, and how he fares in the Premier League. The good thing, though, about Niakate is he is a left footer. So you'd think bringing him in, he's either going to be competing or has been brought in to upgrade on Scott McKenna, who won't be happy with that Scott McKenna, you'd have to say. They've also got Steve Cook, of course, who came in January and was Forest's best centre-back, and his experience will be invaluable. He won't need, his pace won't matter too much in the back three, especially in the centre. Worrell and McKenna were decent enough last season, and Peso played a handful of games and will be primarily back up. So I would expect to be seeing probably Joe Worrell on the right, Cook in the middle, and Niakate on the left. Scott McKenna's probably going to drop out of that team. Left wing back, Max Lowe was very good and one of, if not the best left back in the Championship last year, but he's returned to Sheffield United now. Gaetan Bong was released, and rightly so. Jack Colback actually played a lot of games left wing back last year for Forest, but they've ended up signing 2 new players in this position for this season. So they've got Harry Toffolo from Huddersfield and Omar Richards from Bayern Munich, who formerly played for Reading. Richards is currently injured, so probably won't be available for the first game of the season. I would expect him probably to be Cooper's number 1 though, and Toffolo back up. This is the area of their defence I'm a little. Nico Williams, super confident, might end up being one of their absolute out and out best players. I would expect him to. I think Steve Cook's good. Joe Worrell's, he's in the team. If Niakate is not performing, they can bring Scott McKenna back in. He's on that left. Is Omar Richards or Harry Toffolo gonna hit it off? We'll have to see. Centre mid, obviously James Garner again, superb on loan last season, creating from deep. Forest haven't been able to bring him back, so they've gone for a player with a similar-ish profile in Lewis O'Brien from Huddersfield, who himself was one of the best centre mids in the Championship last year. So decent bit of business that. I like it. Ryan Yates also had a strong season as well. He'll almost certainly start alongside O'Brien. Harry Hart has been on loan in the lower leagues, and he'll most likely leave. Cafu, no, not that one, different Cafu. He wasn't very good when he played. Brian Oyedeban barely had a kick. Colback could come back in. It's probably been decent enough backup in centre mid, and I'd expect him to. Whether they feel that they've got enough in Oyeda, Art and Cafu to fill a 4th choice remains to be seen, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did go and get a little bit more depth in centre mid there and get rid of some of those guys. Attacking mid, so Phillips and Kaneko was decent again on loan from Watford and played most of the season in his position. He's now gone to Olympiacos, but Jesse Lingard's been brought in, and he will of course be first choice in this position. They've also got the superb Brennan Johnson, who can play on the right or as a 10 or as a second striker, and they've also got Alex Mighton and Joe Lolly, who can fill in here as well, so they're fine in this position. And striker, the captain, Lewis Grabban, he's now 34 and he was released. Again, a bold move, but a good move in my opinion. And they've gone all out and signed Taiwo Awoniyi from Union Berlin for 18.5 million. He did have an excellent season in the Bundesliga last year though. Brennan Johnson, as I said, can play as a second striker, and that's where I'd expect to see him play. They also have Sam Surridge and Lyle Taylor, who weren't great as backup, and I think they're bringing somebody else in, potentially on loan, as backup for Awoniyi, and Brennan Johnson would be a good idea. So what I would do then is I would go and sign 2 new players if they can. I know they've already spent a bit, but I'd go and sign 2 new players. I'd go and get Ben Whiteman of Preston. I think he could be an option to add some depth, and he shouldn't break the bank at all. And look at bringing Keenan Davies back on loan if they can. Permanently might cost them a little bit, but maybe too much. But if they can get him on loan, if Philip would be willing to sanction that, that'd be a good option for them. So a new starting 11 then for them next season. Forest of Henderson in net, it's always a tough ask, but I think with this team and Cooper as manager, Forest have got a really strong chance of staying up. My major concern will be